Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Just thought I'd quickly jump on actually and give my reaction to the news that West Ham United are looking at quite a lot of Burnley's youngsters. Well, it's not news, to be fair. It's not an official source or anything. It's just rumours. But there were some rumours down in London that were posted on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it these days, yesterday, that West Ham United are looking at quite a lot of young, up-and-coming championship talent from both Burnley and Sunderland. Obviously, we've both got a similar squad in the sense that we have a lot of young up-and-coming talent. Obviously, they've got Bellingham, Rigg, and others, and the ones that we're looking at, that West Ham are looking at Burnley are James Trafford, obviously, but I think I would suspect he'd be going to Newcastle, if I'm being honest with you. But James Trafford, who else was it? CJ Gunriley, obviously, I think everybody should be looking at him, to be fair, with him being out of contract and being free. Maxime Esteve, best defender in the league, and Bashir Humphries. But yeah, I'm not here to say whether or not it's true or whatever. I'm just here to give my reaction on it. And even though it was just a tweet yesterday, it's not come from an official source or anything like that. But West Ham fans will know, and I'm sure some of the Burnley fans will, who are chronically online like me and are always on Twitter and things like that, trying to keep up with the news, is that the guy that this came from is called ex-West Ham United employee. Is pretty much bang on. I think he was the first to break the Maxwell Cornet news, and that's the best example I can give with a Burnley reference. But I'm sure there's loads of other examples out there as well. But I know he's very, very, very well trusted in West Ham. But this is what it said yesterday. So just quickly get it up. There you go. Sunderland youngsters and Burnley backline are expected to feature heavily on Graham Potter's transfer wish list. Now, just to sort of like reiterate, it has come from ex-West Ham employee, as you can see there. But ex-West Ham employee does a lot of his stuff on Patreon. Obviously, I'm not subscribed to that. Why would I be? But thankfully, this account, West Ham _Central, has just kind of like regurgitated it all for us peasants who aren't paying for the Patreon. We've got to say the club have been tracking a range of Sunderland players for most of 2025, and these include Bellingham, Neil, Rigg, and the ones that we mentioned earlier. Obviously, this is what we're interested in. The other club we like a number of players is Burnley, and these include Bashir Humphries, Maxime Esteve, CJ Gunriley, and James Trafford. CJ Gunriley is the top target. The England under-21 player is versatile and can operate at right back, centre back, and defensive midfield. Now, obviously those of you that watch the channel regularly will see that I have recently been doing quite a lot of stuff with Jimmy and Connor. There's more stuff to come. We've got more debate clubs coming. I'll be dropping one later today on the out of contract players, and another one tomorrow that's a little bit more serious. It's the Osmaich and Hannibal thing, but you can watch that tomorrow. But we do talk about this, not necessarily the West Ham interest because that's come today, but the fact that CJ Gunriley and Josh Brownhill, obviously not mentioned in this, are both out of contract this summer, and it's going to be a massive worry for us going into the final games of the season and towards the end of the season if they both leave for free. I know some Burnley fans, for whatever reason, still don't rate Josh Brownhill, but thankfully Scott Parker does. But yeah, it's a big shame if CJ Gunriley leaves for free. I say free. He's under the age that you need to be, so it will go to a tribunal, won't it? Like it did with Danny Ings when Danny Ings went to Liverpool. I think that was the case. I think we got 6 million for him, didn't we? I can't remember off the top of my head, to be fair, but we got a decent amount for him. So you would suspect we'd get a decent amount for CJ Gunriley as well. I think the stuff like the tribunal, again, off the top of my head, goes on to like what they can achieve. And the ceiling for CJ Gunriley is massive. Like he can go on potentially to play for England. Obviously, he's not ready yet, but he's already in the England setup. Obviously, he's been playing for the under-21s in the recent international break. He's very highly thought of. Came from the Manchester City Academy as well, which always helps in things like this. So I do think we get quite a bit, even if CJ Gunriley leaves and goes to West Ham at the end of the season. I do think we still get quite a bit. We're in quite a good position though with Trafford and with Maxime Esteve, because obviously they're both tied down to contracts. We can demand heavy fees. I think both of them go for 30 million plus, to be fair. So if, for example, the worst case scenario in this is we stay down and we sell James Trafford for 30 million, Maxime Esteve for 35 million, for example, you've already got 65 million quid there. Some of it will have to be reinvested into the squad, if not all of it. Obviously, I'm sure we've got debts and stuff to pay and things like that. But then there's other players as well that could be sold. I'm sure that if we stay down, Luca Koleosho might look to move on and things like that, and even Lyle Foster. I would suspect we've got a big summer coming up. again, which is annoying, but again, we'll come into it. That's just a prediction, to be honest. I have no inside information, as I say always on here. But with Bashir Humphries, again, we're in quite a good position. I know a few people have kind of like sort of like forgot that the scenario with Humphries, but he is ours. I think it wasn't an obligation as far as I can remember. In fact, I'm lying to you. My memory was that it was an obligation. But I found something on the not the Burnley Express, sorry, the Burnley official website earlier. I'll just quickly try and bring it on your screen now. That's wrong. On the Burnley website that says that we had an option to buy for him. So I'll just quickly get it on your screen. This is from when we signed Bashir Humphries. Young defender arrives at Turf Moor from Chelsea. Burnley Football Club are pleased to announce the signing of England under-21 defender Bashir Humphries on a season-long loan deal with an option to buy from Chelsea. And the little star next to it is subject to the usual EFL and FA approvals. So Burnley will want to buy him, I think. In fact, I'm pretty certain we've already triggered it, if I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty certain we have. I heard something 6 weeks ago now that we'd already triggered it. And I did actually put a post out, and that's when a lot of people were commenting on it saying it was an obligation, we have to buy him. But obviously this, according to the Burnley official website, it was an option, but Burnley will be exercising that option. So again, if we have, which I believe we have, exercised that option to sign Humphries, obviously it's not come out yet officially, but if we have, which like I said, I suspect we have, I am pretty confident that we again can say to West Ham, you need to give us quite a lot of money. But they're not going to come in and buy all four of them, are they? But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think Humphries, as good as he is, I think he stays if we stay down and don't get promoted. Whereas I think the likes of, like I said already, Trafford and Esteve and CJ will all be off, especially with CJ. That's like I said already. The worrying thing with CJ is the out of contract thing. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that one then. Obviously, like I said, ex-West Ham United employee is quite well known. He's quite on the money, to be fair. And, you know, he's very well respected in the West Ham circles. So we'll see what happens with that one. But fingers crossed, obviously, we all keep them. But yeah, like I said, been doing a lot of stuff with Jimmy and Connor recently. I'm going to be releasing a video later this afternoon, early evening, where we talk about the out-of-contract players at Burnley. And we've got another one tomorrow on the Osmajic situation. And I believe I'm doing a live with them on Connor's channel later as well. That'll need confirming. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. Do all the usual stuff. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're even on TikTok these days. But let me know in the comments below what you think about Burnley potentially losing 4 of their back line to West Ham United. But like I said, they're not all going to go there, are they? But West Ham United are certainly interested.